AFC. Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Dolphins. Brilliant performance. He's scary. Over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. And they've got the Patriots in Foxborough this weekend. Draymond Jones of the Denver Broncos with 5 tackles. A brilliant 2.5 sack performance by him. A bright spot for this Broncos team in a lost season in the AFC West. And on special teams, our guy, Nyheim Hines, friend of the show, 2 punt return touchdowns. First time since 2012. You love Nyheim Hines.
Nyheim Hines is my guy. I love that dude. One of the most affordable superstars in the league, as told by him. All right, let's go NFC players. Let's break this on down. How about running back Saquon Barkley? 189 yards rushing. Yeah, 4 receptions for 90 yards and 2 TDs. How about that for filling up the stat box? Chandler Jones, he's 3.5 sacks away from breaking Strahan's record for sacks in a season. He has 6 tackles, 4 sacks in this, and 2 forced fumbles. He's been all over the place this season. In special teams, Robbie, as good as gold. He had the game winner, as we know, has been very crucial in the victories for the 49ers this season.
Nate,
How about that?
I heard a rumor.
Okay.
I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true or not, honestly. Is Chandler Jones coming on our show today? I can't find. Is he?
This is true. This is true. Chandler Jones is supposed to be coming on the show.
Okay.
And
Devon Kennard, yesterday on the show, Lions Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, said he's the best defensive player. He's not getting enough love.
They said he should win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think when it comes to teams that aren't winning, there's always this stigma that their superstars aren't as talented as some of the superstars on winning teams. It doesn't matter. Sometimes circumstances, they dictate how much shine you get. And right now, there isn't a lot of shine in Arizona. I mean, aside from the sun. But Chandler Jones, he should be talked about with some of the best in the game.
Well, he comes from such an athletic family, so he's been a stud his entire life. And around that, he is a Super Bowl champion playing for the Patriots. So you got to get in his head about that as well. So he'll be on the show.
He'll be on the show. It's going to be good.
And he's going to last player of the week.
For him to have 3.5 sacks in this game and pass Michael Strahan, who's an absolute legend. Like, you never know what that can do for his career. Think about it. You're already a Super Bowl champ.
Yeah.
Your stats are through the roof. I mean, this could be part of his resume that we're talking about Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
How do you think Strahan, how do you think he feels about that?
He loves it. He loves it. Records are meant to be broken.
Yeah, I feel like Strahan and Kelly here right now. I'll send it over to Peter and Kyle. They are downstairs on the streets. Be careful. Go.
Hello.
Guys,
we're ready.
We're out here on the streets, and we're in front of a subway station. People are coming all out. They're excited. We've got the holiday spirit here in New York. What's up, big man?
That's a nice man. He smiled.
We're doing a segment we call The Express.
Hey, here we go. Here we go.
5 segments, 5 questions, 30 seconds total. It's a debate segment unlike anything you've ever seen on sports television outside in New York City. Starting off with the Dallas Cowboys. Segment 1. Cowboys have been up and down all season, Kyle. They need a win in Week 17, and they need the Eagles to lose to the Giants. Are we done talking about the Cowboys for the rest of the year in 2019? Remember, New Year's is next week on Tuesday. Are we done for 2019 talking about the Cowboys after today?
Never done. Never done. Because if the Cowboys win and get in, then it's an eruption, and they survived, and they did all this. And, Peter, if they miss the playoffs, then we have to do the whole Jason Garrett watch and the coaching talk. We will talk about them more than teams that actually made the playoffs. I feel like Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan will get talked about less than Lincoln Riley and Urban Meyer. That's how it's going to go this week.
I actually think the otherwise. I think if the Eagles do get in, and then suddenly we're doing this Eagles run again, and we're going to shift our focus from Cowboys to maybe some other 31 teams. I think we're ready to move on, and maybe Brady and Mahomes and Lamar. Yeah, I think we're done with Cowboys.
God willing, Peter. Let's talk about someone we haven't touched on much this week. Marshawn Lynch returned to football and to Seattle this week. So, Peter, I want to know, a couple of venerable guys everybody looks at, everybody's watched for years. Whose career would you, Peter Schrager, rather have? Marshawn Lynch or Frank Gore? 30 seconds, go.
2 guys who are going to have heated Hall of Fame debates. And if you're a 49ers fan watching this, you're thinking, oh, God, remember the goes. I'll take Frank Gore.
You want Gore?
I'll take all of the years of dominance, always being in the top 5, being on the all-time list, and always being relevant. Marshawn had some great years, had the Super Bowl rings, but was up and down those last few years. Give me Frank Gore over that sustained 2 decades nearly of football dominance.
The reputation's so different. You know, like, everyone's respected. Like, I feel like Marshawn, he comes in a room and it's like, that's Dave Chappelle. I feel like Frank Gore walks in and it's like, it's Seinfeld. You know, like, we all love him and everything, but, like, it's just a little bit of a sizzle factor. I'll go with Marshawn.
Marshawn or Gore, what do you guys think at home? Career you'd rather have? Moving on to segment 3 on The Express.
Let's go.
Redskins fans, hide your eyes this weekend because 2 former Redskins quarterbacks are going to be starting for playoff teams in Week 17. Kirk Cousins is going for the Vikings. Robert Griffin III is going for the Ravens. So looking at those 2 former Redskins quarterbacks, if you're an NFL Network producer, who's a football life would you rather greenlight? And if you're a viewer, who would you rather watch? The career of Cousins or the career of RG3? A documentary.
Give me a football life, Kirk Cousins. And I don't want to hear, oh, Kirk Cousins is a bunch of golly gee, corny quotes. Have you ever heard RG3? Have you ever seen him tweet? RG3 had a documentary about Gatorade, about his injury alone. RG3 wears wacky socks. And Peter, you know this as well as anybody. The old behind the music specials, sometimes the bands that were a little corny had the best ones. The Creed one is incredible. Give me Kirk Cousins.
Give me RG3 and the rise from the ashes. This was the biggest star in sports. Remember, the biggest star in sports.
He was big.
Completely forgotten, written off, and now he is starting this week to show everyone else he's got an opportunity to do it.
Of course he's going to do RG3.
I love the RG3 story.
How about the story of Kirk Cousins holding up a Lombardi? I mean, it's amazing. Going off now. Let's go off the field, Peter. This is where we really sink in.
Here they go.
All right. The debate about whether or not John McTiernan's Die Hard is a Christmas movie has been quote-unquote raging for some time. Peter, we're not going to even debate as a holiday. I want to know if you think that the Die Hard Christmas movie debate is dead or is it still alive?
No, I'll tell you why it is still
It's
very
still
much
alive?
This is like, is the hot dog a sandwich thing? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Because immediately when you want to just say, ugh, I'm sick of this question, you start answering the question. It's like, it is a Christmas movie because not only does it take place on Christmas, it's also about family and a man trying to apologize for something he did wrong and making it's a Christmas movie. Yes, it is. And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm knee deep in the conversation.
And you're in it all of a sudden. Better question. Peter, would you rather fight one duck-sized elephant or 10 elephant-sized ducks? It's funny. Yesterday I was having a hot dog, and I figured there's meat in the middle of the bread, and I did a sandwich. I don't care if Die Hard's a Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. Sure, it is.
That's
yes.
it. Great.
What
Last topic, and a big one here.
Die Hard.
We're here in New York City. We're on Wall Street. We're down here. People are walking by. A lot of people are tourists, which leads me to my next question. New Year's Eve on the horizon. Times Square, New Year's Eve. Are you in or are you out for being one of those people who go to Times Square to watch a ball drop?
You know, Peter, I can't always be as cool as you. So I'm going to say I'm in. That's the center of New Year's. Listen to me. I'm a kind of guy, I go to the Olive Garden on Valentine's Day, all right? Some people on Cinco de Mayo, they go to LaGuardia Taqueria. That's where it is. And last time I watched New Year's Eve in Times Square, Jenny McCarthy is out there picking a sailor and just making out with her. You can single me out. I was reared on that show. I'm in. Times Square, laboratories, facilities,
They put you behind a barricade.
Yes.
You can't use the restroom for 12 hours. And you're standing up there to get like a selfie with Dr. Ken. Like, I'm good. In 2-degree weather.
No restroom for 12 hours, but 15 beers.
Yeah.
Watching, and thanks for watching. Good Morning Football. I'm Will Selva. And Marshawn Lynch's return to Seattle is grabbing the headlines, and for good reason. But there's another return in the Emerald City that should also be making news. Pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney vowing there's no way he's not playing in Sunday's showdown against the 49ers. A core injury forcing him to miss the last 2 weeks. He was limited in practice and in 12 games this season, collecting 30 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries. And remember, he was very disruptive the last time he faced San Francisco. Miami Dolphins rookies spreading some holiday cheer for some South Florida families as they teamed with Neighbors for Neighbors to adopt 4 deserving families and hosted them for a holiday gift event. The rookies presenting the families with gifts, a tour of the team's practice facilities, and even tickets to a game. Former Dolphin and current Brown Jarvis Landry having a great season despite the Browns' struggles as a team. With 66 receiving yards on Sunday against the Bengals, he can set a new single-season high in receiving yards. Landry named the 5th Pro Bowl of his career, but he changed them all for a Super Bowl appearance.
Ultimately, I want to play in the Super Bowl. You know, I don't really ever truly plan to make a Pro Bowl or to be a part of a Pro Bowl. But it is an honor that, obviously is on every player's checklist, accomplishment, and to add another one, it definitely feels good, but, I wish I could substitute it for a Super Bowl.
Well, in addition to Landry's Pro Bowl nod, he was also named the Browns' Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominee, which might be his biggest accomplishment of the season.
I went through and I read all of the things that he's involved with. It took me a really long time to get through it. He lost a friend in high school to cystic fibrosis, and he's been sort of leading the charge on awareness and making lives easier for people who deal with that. At My Cause, My Cleats, that's the cause that he puts on his cleats yearly to make a difference and help. And he does a lot in Louisiana, and of course a lot there in his new home in Cleveland. Will, thanks for pointing that out. And we love having these Walter Payton Man of the Year nominees here on the show. And as the NFL centennial season does continue, other players like Kyle Rudolph are continuing to make an impact on and off the field. Now, there's a place not far from the Vikings' home field that remains very near and dear to his heart, one that serves as a powerful source of hope and inspiration. And we all know his charitable efforts have earned him a nomination for the 2019 Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Cousins back to pass. Dump over the middle, Rudolph. Touchdown by Kyle Rudolph.
Everything that we do at the hospital is directly for the patients and their families. All of our time and energy is dedicated to making their experience just a little bit more enjoyable. The Huddle for 100 is an unbelievable initiative by the NFL, and to really make an impact in this community, partnering with the NFL and its 100th season, having the opportunity to go out in the Twin Cities community to do stuff for kids is an incredible experience. My brother Casey was born with neuroblastoma. I was 15 months old at the time. He was immediately rushed from the hospital he was born at in Cincinnati to Cincinnati Children's Hospital, where he was diagnosed with the cancer, tumor removed immediately, and then underwent chemotherapy for about a year. At the time, I'm not allowed to be around my brother, and that put an extra burden on my parents because his immune system was extremely depleted, and they couldn't just keep me in the room with my brother. So my brother Casey has been cancer-free since about the age of 1. He will be 29 in February and has been able to live a completely normal childhood. My family's experience, coupled with our experience at the hospital and getting to know patients and families, is what led us to want to create the space that we created. The main goal of the End Zone is for these kids to be just that, to be kids. Pediatric illnesses and pediatric cancer, they don't discriminate, and these kids oftentimes have their childhood stricken from them abruptly, and all they want to do is be normal kids, and we wanted to provide a space to them, no matter what they're going through, no matter what their limitations or restrictions may be. They can go down in the end zone and be a kid. Kyle Rudolph's End Zone is the culmination of my family's story, my brother's story, and many patients and families that we've gotten to know over the years at the hospital, and to give them a space that I would have used, my brother would have used, to now be able to have that here, it really brings things full circle.
So much goodness in his own community, in his own backyard. And the winner of the 2019 Walter Payton Man of the Year Award will be announced at NFL Honors.